Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. My name is RebeccaRavenbird and today I am giving you a tutorial on how I do the dressage races without failing them. Now I want to mention that the dressage races are pretty buggy for some people and people have issues with them even though they are doing the test correctly. So this is for people who maybe have never done the dressage races before or are looking for some tips on how to improve their score for the dressage races. But if you are somebody who knows the course properly and you're doing everything right and you're still getting penalties and getting kicked out of the races, you need to report that to SSO because yeah, unfortunately this race is pretty buggy. It's always been buggy ever since the start of them adding the dressage races. And I also want to mention one last thing before we get started. I am recording on my phone here, so that's why it looks kind of grainy and things like that. I'm recording my phone, I'm recording my computer here because screen recording is very difficult on my computer nowadays, so I hope this is okay. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to go into your settings and actually turn on your music. So I'm going to turn on my master volume here. This has all my sound effects and my music. But yeah, make sure your music is turned on. Hopefully you guys can hear it because using the music actually will help you with this race. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I always want to do is I always want to do the dressage training first, just so I can practice the course without any sort of penalties. So let's go ahead and do the training. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. So we're going to walk. So my first tip is the absolute millisecond that your horse's hoof touches the green ring. That's when you need to transition to the next gate. My second tip is, I'll go ahead and stop here for now. My second tip is to rotate your camera. I don't understand why people do not rotate their cameras, but rotating the cameras is what's going to help you see where your horse's hoof is going to be touching that green ring. In my opinion, the best transitions come from when your horse's hoof touches that green ring. So rotate your camera so you can see it. If you're doing your gameplay like this, you can't see the green ring. But when you do it like this, you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue here. Bam. So you notice that the absolute millisecond, the moment that my horse's hoof touches that green ring, that's when I transition. Turn the camera to look around the corner. Turn the camera again. And bam, pick up that canter. My next tip is to use the dark sand lines that are on the ground to help you, especially when we start doing the actual test, like without these blue arrows, that it'll really help for you to stay on the dark sand lines. So tap, 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 tap. That's my tapping rhythm. That's my tempo that I'm using to get around this circle. Tap, 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 about that fast. My next tip is do not touch your turning keys to try to adjust too much. Try to stay as straight as possible. Touch. There we go. Oh, I had some severe lag. I am on Nightstar right now, but touch. So listen to the music. I'm gonna tap my turning key to the beat of the music. Tap, 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 tap. Hopefully you can hear me tapping my key. And in my opinion, my next tip is to do the races on a computer, because mobile devices tend to be kind of, like, not great. So do it on a computer. It's just easier in my opinion. Rotate the camera. And touch. Yeah, so try not to wiggle around like this. Try to stay nice and straight. Touch. Tap, 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 tap. That's my speed for this circle. Tap, 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 tap. Stay nice and straight. Don't touch your turning keys too much. Yeah, so really do this practice course like a handful of times so that way you start memorizing the course, because this practice training course is exactly what you're going to do when you actually do the dressage mastery. Okay, so it's going to halt me here automatically and bow. So as you can see, I got a score of 90 out of 90. Okay, so assuming I do the same performance when we do the mastery, I should be pretty good. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Turn the camera and touch. Yeah, so once again, use these dark diagonal sand lines to help you out. Stay straight as possible. Don't touch your turning keys too much. Touch. Yeah, and like I said, it's okay to do that dressage practice a couple of times so that you memorize the course, because these blue arrows are no longer here. Okay, using the dark diagonal sand line here. Look above the character so you can see the line. If you look like this, you can't see your line, but if you rotate upwards like this, you'll be a lot better. Tap, 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 tap. So this is a little faster than what the music is going to. Really, the music is only going to help you for the one circle. Canter. Press and hold your turning key. Release. Tap, press and hold, release. Okay, so try not to do like a J corner, so make your corners really round. Tap, 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 tap with the music. Listen to the music. Yeah, so when you turn corners here like this, press and hold the turning key instead of tapping into it to make a really round corner. So instead of doing something like this, it'll still work, but in my opinion, doing a nice corner where you're pressing and holding the key works better. Tap, 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 tap. See, the little red arrow kind of gave me a hint. Whoop. Yeah, so I'm not tapping quite fast enough. Touch. See, there I happened to turn a little too early, so I did have to kind of tap to veer. Okay, so not bad. I got an 87. I got one little penalty on that last circle that we did, but overall, smooth experience. So I hope these tips help you improve your dressage scores. And once again, if you are able to do this test properly, but you're still getting random penalties for it, like you were able to do exactly what I did, but you're still getting penalties for it, just be sure to report that to SSO, because it is pretty buggy for a lot of players, even if they're doing it correctly. So once again, I hope this was helpful. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody!